The new Tomb Raider game, what's it all about? I think it's hopefully going to be quite a shocking game. It would have been very simple for us to do just a better looking Tomb Raider game on, you know, this new range of hardware, but we were really keen to bring something new. So it's all about getting Lara. Lara's put into a situation that will be very clearly told at the beginning, and this situation for Lara is very, very different. It's very alien to her. It's a situation she's not used to. She's been framed for something that maybe she has, maybe she hasn't committed, but this is something really serious. This is something that, you know, she's got to go out and clear a name. I think one of the things that we've done for this Tomb Raider is we've sort of broken it down into 3 chunks, if you like, and those 3 chunks are the core game mechanics. The middle chunk, it's fair to say, is a very traditional Tomb Raider part. It's what people have become to relate Lara with. It's sort of, you know, lost cities, subterranean sort of environments, very, very rich, very, very vibrant thing. The last part is, I would say, more of an action focus of the game. And that's not to say that Lara hasn't got action, but the last part is very, very much focused on that. And what we thought would be great there is to introduce this character, Curtis. You meet Curtis actually quite early on, but he's almost the protagonist at the beginning. He's sort of always one step ahead of Lara. He always seems to know a little bit more than Lara. He's you know, really is the thorn on her side, and at some point they will join together. They will sort of trade the information they've got and work together. It's something that I think we've been asked for a long time, to bring to the game, you know, a difference. Bringing Curtis in makes a big difference. Having two characters there which are playable will make a big difference, and also really it allows us to bring a different game mechanic to the game. You know, Curtis is, you know, if you like, we've got Lara, she's the brains, and Curtis is the brawn, really. You know, between the two of them we can match off the situation that they're in and really make it more adventurous, you know, more use of your time to actually use and play Curtis for these particular points. We watched episodes of X-Files as an example, and you know, you can sort of stand alone and watch a single episode of X-Files and get that feeling that, you know, they're not going to solve. They're going to solve that little mystery in this game, but they're never going to solve the big picture. And that's the same sort of feel that we've got in this Tomb Raider, and that's really how Curtis comes into it. He's part of the big picture. It would be really easy to put Lara in a racing car and have a buzz off and race other cars, but you know, that isn't Lara, that isn't Tomb Raider. That's very, very different from what we've brought to the consumer in the past. Lara can actually, you know, go up to other characters and meet characters and have a cause and effect, if you like, you know, dependent on how she approaches these people, or information that she can get out of them, or information that she can give to them will affect, you know, what happens to her, the outcome to her. What they will tell her will make a difference. You know, it might tell her one route when in actual fact there's 3 or 4 routes. So that was a big element, you know, if you like, a longevity element to the game. We wanted to introduce an area where, you know, my Lara is different than your Lara. We have got 3 distinct chunks of this game. You know, we've got an adventure part at the beginning, which is getting used to the new control system, getting used to Lara, finding out the story, setting some stones out about, you know, what's happened to her and what her objectives are. We've got a traditional Tomb Raider chunk, if you like, which is very much the heart of what Tomb Raider has always been, and that's, you know, very close to our hearts. And then we've got a very much an action chunk at the end. You know, so each of those 3 sort of cross over, but I mean, splitting it up like that, there's some areas there that we've never brought to the Tomb Raider game. You know, when we started off, it was something we thought about a lot, and you know, we looked through the 5 games of Tomb Raiders, and we've really had a little go at everything. You know, the game's called Tomb Raider. Doesn't that mean Lara should be in temples and tombs? Yeah, probably. But if we'd have started this game, which would have been so easy for us to do, and Lara would have been standing outside a temple or a tomb, and the doors would have opened and she'd have walked in, and the doors would have shut behind her as we started the first game. I think we could have got massacred for that, personally. I think people want something else. You know, we've done 5 games in 5 years. That's a lot of games. You know, that's a lot of, like, finishing one and going, we finished, well, let's move on. Cool. What do you mean we're going to do another one? You know, and that was one of the goals at the start of this game, was to think bigger. Let's not just make this story tied to this game. You know, this game is the first 10 chapters of a book that we've written, and that book is going to cover maybe the next 3 or 4 or 5 games. And, you know, we can spin that out, we can change that, but that's already done. That was a big difference. So we very much wanted to open up lots of things to the player in this first game. We really do open lots of doors, and really don't show many of them. So we're going to tell people things that they're going to sit there and go, well, you know, I don't see what relevance that has, and it probably has no relevance in this game at all. It's part of the big picture. So we've got lots of ideas, as you can see. We will go until we get up one morning and think, been there, done it, let's finish, and Laura will go off and have a good holiday. But we're still motivated, we still want to keep going.